No one was dancing, doing James Brown dances. If you go to our, not our Facebook page, but 97.1 The Ticket's Facebook page right now, you'll see us live in studio in beautiful Southfield. See, if I move out of the way, you can maybe see how cloudy and gloomy it is outside.
Yeah. Well, you can't tell so much with these windows, but our other windows were all steamed up. Like the entire building had been making out with each other in a car.
There was some hot backseat action going on.
A scene from Titanic when someone presses their hand against the window and streaks down.
So,
but they can check out your glasses.
Yeah, I was giving a little peeper update.
Staring at them?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Blue
Those
steel.
at home, you probably won't notice the difference.
Probably not at all. No. Still as ugly as always. And so I get out of the glasses joint, and next door is an old deli, old market deli. Italian only because they had some pasta, like you could buy dry pasta in there as well. But it essentially is a butcher shop.
Ah, lots of meat.
Yeah, steaks.
Your cup of tea.
Yeah, hell yeah, steaks and chops, and they had a few salads too. Great store. You could buy beer and wine there too.
Cool.
It's excellent.
Had a couple subs.
Got a couple subs.
Well, ham, salami, some roast beef. Tell everybody what kind of great sub you had at the butcher shop.
Heads up. Listen to this. You got your Italian sub roll already. It's great. Italian dressing on there. The Italian dressing in a sub in an Italian store, much better than your 7 C's or whatever.
Okay.
Or at any other sub place.
All right, so you've got the dressing and the bread.
Dressing.
Awesome.
You got lettuce chopped just fine, shredded lettuce, tomato, some peppers.
Oh, some onion too, maybe a little oregano.
As well. Yep. Well, it's in the dressing, yeah. Okay. Some onion, tomato. You put on some provolone cheese.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they threw on some pepper jack cheese.
Oh, 2 cheeses.
So it's stacked with, you got all tomato, all this stuff on there.
Yeah. What else?
Well, that was it. I'm done.
Excuse me?
You were at a butcher shop and you didn't get meat on your sub?
He goes to a butcher shop.
Yeah, that's not really the
and
topic,
gets a meatless
not really
sub.
What we're talking about.
I don't care. You go to a butcher shop and get a sub without meat.
Two of them.
Did they laugh at you or no?
Was one were they both for you or one was for your wife?
One was for my wife.
Well, she's a vegetarian.
Yeah. What am I not?
Yeah,
I'm not actually.
Experimenting.
I'm
not.
But you're willing to try.
I'm dipping a toe.
Yeah.
Wait, ask me again, Sony. Am I what?
Are you willing? Are you a vegetarian?
No, but I'm willing to try. No,
Come on, you're in a butcher shop.
I know. I had a big boy classic last week.
That was last week. That was 2 weeks ago. That was 2 weeks ago. You were on vacation last week.
Yeah, I'm judging a steak contest.
You are in a butcher shop.
Chicken salad on Sunday.
I
understand the point. It's blasphemy. I get it.
Yeah, you're going to this old school. I mean,
they had mortadella
of being there is that you get freshly cut,
some prosciutto,
beautiful pieces of meat, and for you, nothing.
No.
Just nothing.
No.
You looked all around that shop with the beautiful chops and the ribs and all this stuff.
It's almost like this when my wife went to a soul food restaurant with us. She ordered a Caesar salad.
It's not the same.
You go to a butcher shop, you get meat.
So if I went to a soul food place, what would I order?
You would get beans and you get some cornbread,
beans and rice,
some ribs, maybe some.
No, ribs. I would get greens.
Yeah,
macaroni and cheese.
Absolutely,
and probably red beans and rice.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. I think I'm going to have to hit
beans and cornbread.
Beans and cornbread after work.
You get some kind of meat dish though, wouldn't you?
I might get like catfish.
Okay, that's meat.
Well, it's fish. I'll still eat fish. Anywho,
yeah.
So this place, believe me, you can pile on. I get it. I totally understand.
You should have piled on the meat. That's what should have been piled on.
If I was going to here's what I would have gotten. I would have gotten an Italian sub. I would have gotten capicola, mortadella, and prosciutto.
Nice.
With some provolone.
Now, when you ordered that, did you sit there and was there like the angel devil from Animal House sitting there saying, "Let's see, meat,
Blanker.
no meat,
Blanker,
no
you peward." No, I knew what I went in there. I went focus, Stoney. I knew what I wanted, and I got it, and I walked out. But it was one of those places. It was a very throwbacky type of place. It's been there for decades, and it's just an old style butcher shop / deli that you walk in. It's like, okay, there's paneling on the walls. They've got cases with steaks and chops and kebabs and all sorts of great stuff. But it was just one of those places. It totally reminded me of a place that was near where I grew up was called Sabetti's. Same thing. Pasta you could buy on the shelf, dry pasta, but they were known for their steaks, and they had a butcher in back who cut all the meat. They weren't getting it delivered.
You ever have a veggie sub at Sabetti's?
No.
Okay, good.
Gay. So it was just one of those throwback places. So it's a staple of the community. In your community, whatever that may be, your town, village, township, whatever it might be, what is the staple place that has always been there? Not a chain place, and not necessarily even a restaurant.
No.
Could be a hardware store. Could be like in Royal Oak, you've got Ferentz and Sons. I went there 30 years ago. My mom and my family, who all grew up in Royal Oak, they used to go there. It's been there forever. It's right at Gardenia and Main Street. It's not, a superstore. It's not a Home Depot or a Lowe's. It's this small hardware store that has been there for decades. What is your staple store / restaurant in your community? 248-539-9797. We have a few of them actually where I live.
Yeah, I know. Especially when I first moved here in apartments that were next to Harrison High School, the hardware store. Gene's Hardware,
yes.
Which now is Gene's True Value, so they've kind of had to, whatever. But it still has the same, smell and hometown feel to it.
Yeah.
So
and
those type of places.
Al Jean, one of the creators of The Simpsons, that's his family's place, his parents. That was their hardware store.
It's a great place.
Yeah, it's awesome.
There were a couple of places in Birmingham. One is still there, and I don't even know how they do it. They're called Tiger Shoe Repair. And
Tiger Shoe Repair?
And they'll fix anything for you that has to do with like
tigers,
leather or shoes.
Whenever Siegfried and Roy are in town, they go there.
Bags and it's
Don't Red Wing shoes, aren't those owned by the same people? Kidding. It's an Illich reference. There is Red Wing shoes,
yes.
though. That's a
it's
Michigan
for
company.
work boots, yeah. But this place is like a closet. It's super tiny, and you have all of these, big stores or expensive stores or fancy stores around it, and it's just this little like 2-man venue, and you go in there and people
have been doing it for years.
Years. I mean, since my dad was a kid. The other place that my dad knew when he was a kid that used to be in Birmingham but is sadly no longer there, I think it was called Merrill's Grocery Store. It was like a grocery store, general store.
I know exactly where it is.
And so they used to live down the street. And when he was a kid, his mom would send him to walk a couple blocks, go to the grocery store. And it was the time, it was like Mayberry practically, where they put it on our account. And they would just let him walk out with food.
There is a place near me. Is it Farms Market or Fresh Farm? I forget what it's called. It's by Grosse Pointe South High School. And people, you just go in, you say, put it on your account. Yep. And people have accounts, and you just.
And these people that had run this place
at the end of the month
knew the people that lived in their neighborhood. I mean, like people would come in and, Norm, whatever. I mean, they knew their neighborhood and their
How's
shoppers.
How's the new dog doing, Norm?
Yes, they knew their customers. And it's so sad.
Still cheating on you, Norm? Oh, you didn't know?
Oh, she bought a little extra coffee for her new friend. But now, sadly, it's some she overpriced art gallery.
Yeah. Isn't all art overpriced?
Well.
Let's go to Carl on a cell phone. You're on 97.1 The Ticket.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Edgemy and Sons in Allen Park over by South Middle School. Grew up with a pepperoni roll, some of the best you could ever imagine. 49 cents. Now they're like $1.79, $1.99. Used to get that in a bottle of fuel for less than $1.
Nice.
Wow. And how long has it been there?
30, almost 40 years.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Qualifies. Yeah, this place that I don't know if it's always been this place, but the store itself looks like the building it's in is probably 60 years old at least. Ed in Rockwood, you're on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hi. I wanted to let you know about the Huron River Inn in the early 1800s. It was a stagecoach stop, and then the train finally came in and became a train stop, and now it's a nice burger and beer place right on the corner of Huron River Drive and Old Fort Road.
But it's always been called the Huron River Inn?
I guess so.
Uh-oh. That's still with us? Neil in Clinton Township. You're on 97.1 The Ticket.
Morning, gang.
Hey, how you doing?
There's this place in Clinton Township called Terry Subs. It's been around for decades. My family's been going there for generations. I know my grandpa used to eat there. My Uncle Kevin introduced it to me when I was like 13 working for him in masonry. He took me there for lunch. These things are the size of a football, if not bigger. They're packed full of everything you want in an Italian sub, and they got pickles and peppers. It's just one of the best subs I've ever had. It's just a family tradition.
And where is it in Clinton Township?
It's off of 15 in Groesbeck, Gratiot, I'm sorry. East of Gratiot on the eastbound side. And it's such a small hole in the wall, you'd never even know it was there. The building's so
places like
scrappy.
Are they any relation to Terry's Tavern, which is also
no,
sort of
not at all.
No?
This was the old guy that owned it. He actually just sold it, and I was scared to death when he was going to sell it, like the quality's going to drop.
Right.
But he actually stayed there for like 2 months, hand training the new owner, just like hovering over and making sure that he was carrying the legacy.
Better keep this tradition going. We'll take more of your calls or text at 97136 on your cell phone. Just that staple business in your community. It's been there for decades. It's not a chain. It's not part of anything. But everyone goes. Everyone's familiar. And basically, they are kind of like you were saying, Sarah. They don't want to modernize. They just want to stick with what they've always done. Maybe you'll put a little less air in a chip bag, whatever.